All right. All right. Shalom. For the Hebrew Israelites back again with another lesson through the Spirit and power. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Before we begin this lesson, we're going to give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh,
Hashem,
Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. All right. Shalom to you, brothers out there on the highways and hedges, doing your due diligence and teaching the hopeful elect. Shalom to you. All right. And shalom to you, Akwaf out there that are in order. And shalom to you Israelites scattered abroad that may look like these other nations. Shalom. All right, today's lesson is something a little bit different. You know what I mean? We've been, me and my brother here, we've been for the past couple of nights ordering equipment, webcams, things like that, and basically trying to get set up to where we can do our lesson, take our lessons to the next level. So Lord willing, this be a new thing of the future moving forward, you know, as we're growing in this walk, you know what I mean? And, you know, we've been trying to test, we've been experimenting, trying to record and get this right for the past couple of nights. It's been tricky because we've had to learn how to keep videos from lagging and keep the audio from sounding echoey and yeah, all kinds of things, you know what I mean? But we think we've got it right. Lord willing, this lesson goes smoothly. All right, so what we want to talk about in this lesson is these UK riots and how it relates to Bible prophecy, because all of this was prophesied in the Holy Bible, and we, us two, as and the other brother that isn't with us today, you know, or tonight, should I say, you know, we've been speaking about this for years, man. Telling you that race riots are coming, that all hell is gonna break loose, and this is the perfect recipe for disaster, man. This going on right now is basically gonna pave the way for certain prophecies to take place, such as Jacob's trouble, martial law, where the devil shall cast some of us into prison. You know, them taking away more rights and, you know, more oppression. Trust me, there's so many things we can speak about in this lesson involving what's going on right now, but it is a big deal and it is a turning point in the history of humanity, the history of Earth, you know what I mean? So, you know, we're going to speak on this, Lord willing, you're edified, all right? What we're going to do first is play a little bit of this video and then we'll pause it here and there and speak on it, all right? So just check this out for a minute.
Attention, attention. This is a place message.
Belfast, Plymouth, Darlington. The streets ablaze. Another night of rampaging and rioting. The police seemingly unable to stop its spread. In Northern Ireland, a man in his 50s was badly beaten, his head stamped on in a racially motivated attack. The police service believe there's a paramilitary element involved in this violence. In England, the security services are investigating who else is directing this disorder as it continues to impact people's homes, businesses, and families.
I just woke up in the morning and my mum told me that we're to pack our bags. I was just really scared, just shaking all day.
This schoolgirl and her little sisters had minutes to leave their home and go and stay in a safe house because their dad's business was listed as a target on a far-right chat group. You must be missing all your things, your bedroom and all your toys and...
I don't message my friends or anything about it because I don't want any more trouble or anything.
And how do you feel about the people, those targeting the businesses, to mask up? One of those Telegram channels also shared a manual on how to commit arson. Those who researched the far right say it originated from Russian neo-Nazi groups. Senior Home Office officials are aware of this document and have been in contact with the relevant police forces. Today saw the first conviction of a man aged 28 for posting criminal messages linked to the violence. The Director of Public Prosecution says some rioters could be charged with terrorism offences in what he describes is now a national emergency.
Oh.
Counter-protesters have been warned not...
All right, so you heard that. Basically, they're going after people that are spreading so-called hate speech online or or provoking riots and stuff like that. Basically, they're tracking people's social media, okay? And you got a lot of people that aren't very wise in these end times. They're getting all involved in the politics of this stuff, you know what I mean? All that go back to your own country and all that, and they're saying things online that can get them in a world of trouble. But the media will use this to basically target hate speech and stuff like that, man. You know what I mean? This is a way they can use this to their advantage, basically, this whole situation, you know what I mean? Because, you know, one of the quotes of the elites is, never let a good crisis go to waste. So this is a crisis that these wicked elites are not going to let go to waste. They're going to use this and see what they can get out of it, man. They're going to use it as a way to basically bring in the famine of the word, man, where they come after people like us, Hebrew Israelites, that are teaching the Holy Bible, because it sounds offensive. It's hate. It sounds like hate speech, you know, because it ain't what they want to hear. They don't want to hear that certain nation isn't favored by the Lord and that they're going into captivity and that their kingdom is going down. Although you can see it all happening right in front of your eyes, man. Yeah, hey, we ain't even got to tell what's happening to Esau, man. You can watch it for yourself, you know what I mean? So we ain't lying. It's just they don't like what we're bringing out because they don't like being exposed as being the nation of Edom, man. You know? But it says in Amos 8:11 that there will be a famine of the word, man. And this is what's coming, you know, in the near future, you know, because during Jacob's trouble, ain't none of us going to be out there teaching the Holy Bible. So you people that ain't, you know, got stocked up on enough knowledge as of yet, or you ain't even come into the knowledge, you ain't got long left, man. You can't keep playing around. Everybody talks about how, you know, one day I'll serve the Lord. That time is now, you know. You shouldn't make any tarrying to turn to the Lord, man.
Yeah, so, I'm just going to bring out the precept that you brought out earlier about Amos 8:11. And it says, Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, that I will send famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh. Now, this is what you were going into, relating to the fact that they're targeting people's social media accounts and what they're posting online. Like, one of the main things that this devil doesn't like is the way that we bring out this word. A lot of people are offended by the words that we're bringing out in these precepts. You know, when you tell, you know, the Israelites, our people, that, you know, salvation is only for you, and all the other nations are going to go into slavery, you know, they take offense at that. You get a lot of scoffers, you get a lot of, you know, people bucking up against it. But that's part of the gospel, right? So, you know, you'll find that a lot of people will be offended, and this will tie into all of that, you know, monitoring the social media posts, which ultimately will lead into this prophecy in Amos 8:11.
That's it. That's it, man. And as a side note, man, I just want to say that through all these riots, Esau is even more being exposed as being the damn devil, man. Because you find that all the people that support the state of Israel are Edomites, man. Whenever you see rallies that are pro-Israel, it's Edomites. And if you don't know what Edomites is, it's the so-called white man, okay? The Bible calls them the wicked of the earth, and it ain't very hard to see. All you got to do is check their behavior and their track record, man. So you got all the people that are pro-Palestine, although us in the truth ain't pro-Israel or Palestine, okay? But the pro-Palestinians are mostly brown people, plus Edomites that, you know, might be fed up of the way their people are behaving because they're embarrassed or whatever, man. So, you know, you can just look and tell who's who in this world, man. And all these riots are based off of racism, man. It's based off of those typical Edomites that are always screaming about go back to your own country. As you notice, even in America, they have a problem with foreigners being flooded into their country. But the most people that are complaining about it are the Edomites, man. The damn colonizers themselves. They're the ones that ain't got a right to even be talking about no damn foreigners, man, because they're foreigners everywhere they are. If they ain't in the land of Petra or Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia, then they're a foreigner, man. Okay? All they do is colonize and steal lands, you know? And also, I want to say that these people wouldn't be coming to other countries, first off, if it weren't for the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But what Edomites like to do is they like to destabilize other countries. And then when people are fleeing those countries to seek somewhat of a better life or a better living condition, then, you know, you got Edomites complaining. But as soon as the Ukrainians are you know, seeking asylum, same things happening in their country. It's war-torn or whatever. They have sympathy for them. Why do you think that is? It's because it's all about Edomite supremacy in this world, man. If you don't look like them and behave like them, they don't want to be nowhere near you, man. You know, and the whole world is clocking onto it, and they're getting sick of it, man. Just as the scripture says that, you know, thou art greatly despised. Do you wanna pull that up? Is it in the book of Obadiah? I'll make you small among the heathen. Yeah, man. Because that's what's happening right now. You got a big divide, you know, nation rising against nation, just as the scripture said. Yahweh Shai himself, who the world calls Jesus, he said that in the book of Matthew, man, chapter 24. He said that nation will rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, you know. And there's also other precepts to back that up, where it talks about how, you know, one people shall stand up against another with swords in their hands. Lord willing, we're going to bring out all these precepts so you can see how all of this is biblically related, man.
Yeah, so this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. Well, there's only one chapter, but this is verse 2. It says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Right? And you can see it in the way these people are being presented with all these riots. You know, you got all these nationalities. Mainly, the book of Obadiah is written towards the Edomites, right? And you can see that a lot of people have a lot of animosity towards the Edomites right now. They're being exposed on every level. And I mean, it's, you know, Esau being the main culprit, but all the other heathen, and the heathen being the people that are not a part of the nation of Israel, you know, they're being greatly despised throughout the whole earth as well. That's why you have these racial riots and tensions. But us Israelites, you know, that are in the know, we're just sitting aside, man. Let them squabble it out, man. Let them do their thing, you know.
That's it.
Again, it all leads into prophecy. So, you know, we just have to sit back and watch the Lord do his work, man. You know, it's beautiful times that we're living in. Scary, but it's beautiful times that we're living in, because we understand exactly what's coming next, you know. So we got to, you know, hold fast to this truth and you know, endure to the end.
That's it, because it's going to get rough, you know, from here on. Things are going to get worse. The war is going to heat up. Things are going to spiral more and more out of control. You're going to start to see certain prophecies come to pass that are going to be kind of scary when they're actually there. When you've been reading about them all this time and it actually comes, it's going to be scary, man. There's going to be a great insurrection upon us Hebrew Israelites. Right now you're seeing it upon the Muslims, right? But next it's going to be us. So you got to brace yourself for that. And it could even be a lot worse. You know what I mean? Because they were tearing Muslims out of their cars, smashing their windows of their houses. But the scriptures say that there's going to be a violent uprising against us. You know, Lord willing, we'll bring that precept out in a minute too, man. But, you know, bottom line is Esau's getting exposed and he don't like it, man. You know what I mean? Because their behavior is plastered all over the media, man. Propaganda ain't going in their favor right now, you know what I mean? And they're looking like a whole bunch of thugs and hooligans, which is what they actually are, man. What do they actually bring to society? What do they actually how do they benefit society, man? Other than complain and you know, work mediocre jobs, complain all the damn time about foreigners and immigrants, never wanna conform to other people's cultures and stuff. You know what I mean? They just a bunch of culture vultures. They don't have a culture of their own, man. Their culture is bangers and mash and mushy peas and you know what I mean? Fish and chips.
I was gonna say, I find it a bit ironic how, they don't want foreigners to come to their country, but every summer they flock in droves over to the foreigners' countries, and they act down full. They get wasted, like places like Mallorca and all that other place. What is it, Ibiza? They get absolutely white boy wasted and tear up the town. And now you got people in, I think it's in Portugal, if I'm not mistaken. It might be in, maybe in Spain or Portugal, where the locals are protesting the friggin' tourists. They're telling the tourists to go out, and a lot of those tourists are Edomites. I mean, they're all Edomites anyway, but still, they're all protesting, get the foreigners out. So it's like a whole thing is like a boiling pot, and it's ready to boil over at this point. Everybody's sick of everybody, Everybody's sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Let's get a couple precepts. I'm gonna bring out 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1 through 5. If you want to grab that, actually, it'll be easier.
2nd Ezra chapter 9, 1 through 5.
Yeah, 1 through 5. If you read it, I might stop you here and there to speak on it.
Yeah, so this is the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 9 verse 1, and it says, "He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made."
So basically, how we measure the time is by watching the events going on in the world and linking it up with the Bible, man. Linking it up with biblical prophecy, which you're not going to learn in Christianity. So if you're stuck in the Christian church to this day, being that we're at the very end, you're in a dangerous place because you're not getting truth. You're not in a position where you're able to measure the time diligently in itself. And right now, through all these riots, you can see through prophecy that we are at the very end. This is what the Bible prophesied about. It's gonna mention that maybe 1 or 2 verses up. So if you want to continue reading.
Yeah, so it says, verse 3, "Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning."
See? So basically, this was always prophesied to happen in the end times. And now we're seeing it happen. Earthquakes, if you do a bit of research and check out the earthquake chart over the past, 10 years or something, you can see that earthquakes have increased dramatically, man, worldwide. Every day there's earthquakes. Not all of them are reported because there's so many. Ones that are really major and really destructive, they'll make the news. But these little ones, they count as earthquakes too, which is part of biblical prophecy, man. That still counts as earthquakes. There's many little earthquakes.
And if I could add as well, some of these earthquakes potentially could be Esau testing like very high yield weapons like atom bombs and all that underground. That can possibly trigger earthquakes as well. But the fact that you're seeing a lot more of these earthquakes in diverse places, the scriptures talk about that.
Yeah, because it don't matter how the earthquakes come about. It's all fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. I got a precept here in the book of
let me quickly continue finishing off that precept that you just brought out. Right, so when it speaks about uproars of the people, that's what you're seeing here, because it said there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Then you should realize that you will understand that the Most High spake of these things from the beginning. So when it speaks about uproars of the people, that's exactly what you're seeing going on. And it's not just in the UK, it's worldwide. and this isn't over. It's going to get worse. So, hey, the scriptures are undefeated, man. The scriptures don't lie. I don't care who in this world doesn't believe us and calls us crazy, says we need to lighten up and we're all doom and gloom. It don't matter about any of that, man. All that matters is prophecy is undefeated. You can never debunk the Bible. You can never battle people that the Lord set up to teach this Bible. You can never come against them. It's undefeated, man. Prophecy is playing out right before your eyes, man. And if you can't see it, you're damn near retarded, man. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Do you want me to read verse 5?
No, bring out whatever precept you said you wanted to bring out.
Yeah, okay. So, basically, when we were talking about the prophecies coming to pass, in the book of Habakkuk, I'm going to go straight to the point, right? So this is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, and it reads, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry." Now, when you look up the definition of the word tarry, it means to take a long time, like a long period, right? So starting with the head apostles on down, they've been bringing out this word, this truth for decades, and they've been telling us about these times that we're going to come into. Now, people, when the elder apostles started bringing out this ministry, they would be on the highways and hedges bringing out this word, telling people like, this is what's coming, this was what's coming. Now, if you think about it from back then, people would have thought, well, when's it coming? And they sat there and thought, you guys keep saying this, but nothing is coming. You keep saying all this stuff is coming, and people have even fallen out this truth because they lost patience, right? But now we're starting to see these things happening. So when you're talking over a period of 3 or 4 decades, right? Saying the same thing and nobody expecting it. Now you're starting to see everything that was brought out decades ago is now coming to pass. And what that means is that although it was taking a long time for it to happen, just because it didn't happen on your time frame doesn't mean it ain't happening. You understand? So this precept here basically says that the vision is yet for an appointed time. When it was being brought out, it wasn't that time. But now we're coming into that time, and we're starting to see these prophecies unfolding one after the other. It's like every day you wake up, there's something new that's being announced on the news. One day it's the riots, the next day it's the escalation of the war in the Middle East. The day after that, now Ukraine's invading Russia. I mean, all these things are leading up to that point. That final battle, the battle of Armageddon, or Armageddon, which is on our doorsteps right now. You understand? Mm-hmm. So I just thought bringing out this precept is very relevant because again, these are things that are written in the scriptures, and we're starting to see them being see them start unfolding right before our very eyes.
That's right. Yeah, man. Good point. The vision is these prophecies, and it's for an appointed time, which is now. It's plain as day that this is the end.
Mm-hmm.
And where you at on that Second Ezra chapter 9?
Yeah, so Second Ezra chapter 9. I want to read verse 5 because that's the last part. But verse 5 says, "For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest." So, hey, look, we're seeing these things come to pass because we're in the time of the end.
Mm.
So
it's very plain for the wise to understand. The end is manifest. It's made clear. It's evident that this is the end. But you still have people that want to lean on Darwinism or whatever, Big Bang. They have no idea what this world is about, man, because they haven't found that which they're seeking for, man. But the election have obtained it. There's a precept speaks about that. Do you want to bring out Second Ezra's chapter 15? start at verse 5
Yeah.
and read
This is,
through
do you
8.
want me to read it, or do you want to read it?
I can do. I mean, it's up to you. I mean,
No, I don't mind. I don't mind, brother.
I just thought it'd be easier because you got the precepts up already right in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 5. It says, "Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, sword, famine, death, and destruction."
And that's what's coming soon, you know. Right now, you're seeing the sword as in the form of war. The civil war, that will bring about the sword also, because a lot of people are prophesied to die in wars, which also goes into civil war, which you can see brewing in America, man. You know, sword, what did it say? Sword, famine, death, and destruction.
Yeah, yeah.
So all of these things are going to take place, like they're going to be skyrocketed during the time that Bible calls Jacob's trouble, which we're on the edge of it, but we're not in the thick of it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob's trouble is about to get, it's going to be a time like there's never been on earth ever. You know, it's going to trump slavery, the hollow fraud, all of that, man. It's going to trump everything. Okay. All right, continue reading.
Yeah, so verse 6 says, "For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled."
And I mean, you got the LGBT thing spreading like crazy. Like everywhere I go, I see girls holding hands or men, you know, not so much holding hands, but just you can tell that they're a couple. It's just blatant, you know. And it's not even just that, it's the mindset of the people, how the propaganda has done a number on their head because they're not wise enough to see through it. You know, these people, I'll tell you what, these people are ripe and ready to be destroyed, man, because darkness has covered all these people, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, their beliefs, you know, just the way they behave. You know, you got Jake killing each other, selling drugs, you got child trafficking. I mean, all of this is a product of the rulership of Esau Edom. This is a product of this is a slum we're living in, man. You know, and this is what the Edomites have turned this world into. You know, and I know a lot of people say, yeah, there's good and bad people of all cultures, all nations, and that is true. But who's the manager of the earth right now? Who has the power to bring world peace if they had that within them? The nation of Edom, the so-called white man, because he's ruling. But he ain't going to do it because the Bible says that he's the wicked and he'll never know any different. There's no rehabilitating them. Okay, and that's according to the scriptures, man. Easily proven. And you can tell through their track record. I mean, they're still doing the same thing they've been doing for years, and they're steady complaining about that was our ancestors, that weren't us. You ain't no damn different, man. You know? Anyway, you can continue reading.
Okay. This is verse 7. It says, "Therefore, saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things, in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually."
You know, and the souls of the just is us. You know, us that the Lord has cleaned up and are in the right spirit, that understand what it takes for there to be world peace. And that's coming back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father who created this world, man. He has the blueprints as to how this world is governed, to be governed, so that it runs smoothly like a smooth running machine, man. And this is how the kingdom of heaven is going to be, because it's going to be rooted in Yahushua. It's going to be rooted in the truth. Wickedness is getting ready to be put out. These Edomites are getting ready to be put under the Israelites' feet. And I'm not talking about your average dreadhead nigger from Chicago with his pants sagging. Okay, when we say that Jake is getting ready to rule, that ain't what we got in mind, man. We're talking about the men that the Lord are cleaning up before your eyes. Okay? Through this word, through the truth.
That's right.
Yeah, you got anything you want to speak on that, or should we jump to the next one?
Yeah, we can jump to the next one. I think you did yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head.
All right. Yeah, so in a nutshell, as far as that precepts go, the Lord is bringing these plagues, and part of these plagues is all this racial, all this madness going on in the world. You got your choices in the next president in America is either Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, right? That alone is a plague, man, because it's going to cause perplexity, which is a state of confusion where people are going to feel hopeless, man. That alone is a plague. That's a plague of the mind, you know? Imagine not leaning on your Howard Shai, and your only hope in your head, your only options is Kamala or Trump, man. I'd hate to live in that sort of mindset. That's through.
Finished.
Finished, man.
Two-time loser.
You know? All right. Do you want to bring out 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, and start at 14?
Yeah. This is 2nd Esdras 16 and 14. It says, "Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth." Verse 15 says, "The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out, till it consume the foundation of the earth."
That's it. So the plagues are sent. The Lord has sent these plagues. So all these things happen in the world is not Satan that's taken over. You know what I mean? Like Christians like to think that the Lord has lost control. Satan's doing a number on this earth, and we need Jesus to come back and save everybody. Because this is the mindset of the Christian, man. The Lord has sent these plagues. Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the true God of Israel, the true and only living power in this earth, man. That's the only one and true God, man. That's the truth. Is Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay? One true power. So he has sent these plagues, and they're not going to return again. Basically, nothing you can do, voting for Kamala Harris, voting for Trump, they're not going to save America. They're not going to save England. You know, voting, getting Rishi Sunak out of office, that ain't going to fix things. Game is rigged, wickedness is taken over, and the only hope for peace on this earth is for Yahushua to return, man.
Yeah, I got a quick precept, just to touch on the point you brought out. So this is 2nd Esdras chapter 16 verse 3. It said, "A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?" It's like a rhetorical question. Basically, the Lord has sent these plagues, right? As a matter of fact, maybe I'll read up a bit. So this is 2nd Esdras chapter 16. Yeah, I'll start at the top. This is 2nd Esdras 16:1. It says, "Woe unto thee, Babylon and Asia! Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria! Gird up yourselves with cloth of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand." Verse 3, "A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?" Meaning it's a rhetorical question. You know, the Lord has sent it upon you. You ain't going to stop what the Lord sent upon you. You understand? I mean, it's it's closed curtains at this point. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the Lord is sending all these plagues, all these situations, escalating tensions, all of that stuff is being sent by the Lord. The Lord is putting the Spirit out there for this to take place, because it's part of the movie. We're getting to that climax, the end scene in the film. You know, if you think about when you watch the Avengers Endgame, you know, this is where all the Avengers coming out, and they're about to get into that final battle right now. You know what I mean? You know, that final scene before the end of the movie. You know, it's about to get eventful and suspenseful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, keeps you on the edge of your seat, man. You know, a lot of people like to watch reality TV programming and all that, wasting time and energy on watching the Kardashians or whatever. And you know, when it gets to some interesting bit or whatever, they're on the edge of their seat, and the next thing you know, it's ended, and they're waiting for the next episode or whatever. Hey, we've never been into that type of stuff, really. You know, we might have watched it in small doses as children growing up, but that's because life was a lot different back then. But in these end times that we're in now, our soaps is this truth, man. Watching these events unfold, man. This is the type of stuff we're into, you know, because we're wise and prudent people. And it keeps us on the edge of our seat, man. You know what I mean? It's all we like to talk about, you know. But I just want to, if you could pull it up if you want for the audience. But I'm gonna read 2nd Ezra 16, and I'm gonna start at 17. Right? Are you there?
Yeah.
All right. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And this is Ezra speaking. Ezra speaking, Salakia, because he knew that he was going to be here in these times during the time of Jacob's trouble, because what people aren't taught in the Christian church is the Bible speaks a lot about reincarnation, how this isn't our only life, we come back again. And if you don't have this understanding, then you'll never fully and truly understand the Holy Bible. So Ezra was saying, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Because we're coming into a time that the Bible calls Jacob's trouble, which is going to be a time like there's never been. And we're going to need divine intervention to save us from this, man. So this is why when he saw it, he was like, oh, destruction is me. Woe means destruction. He's like, destruction is me. I'm through. Who's going to deliver me in those days? It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers, these elites, shall stand in fear because they know what time it is. It says the beginning of evils, and this is what you're seeing happening in the world right now. You got all over TikTok and different social media platforms, you have videos of Edomites and Jakes, just basically people, man. You have videos of people complaining and panicking, wondering what the hell is going on in this world. They're constantly saying, they're complaining about this, that, the elections, the wars, and the vid, everything that's been going on, and they're just confused. They're in a state of confusion because they aren't rooted in the truth. They don't understand the Bible. So therefore they're confused as to like, what's going on with our world, man? We're through. They have this mentality like, what can we do? Who's gonna save us, you know? Not understanding that Yahweh Shai is the savior. He's the deliverer, man. That's literally what his name means. He deliverer, or he delivers. So it says, the beginning of wars and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? So Ezra was, basically saying, what am I going to do when these evils shall come? Because it's going to be such a time that we're going to need the Lord. We're going to need divine intervention, man. And this is what's going to happen for those that are pleasing the Lord, the ones that are called the beloved by the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, okay? The ones that are doing what's well-pleasing in his sight and not twisting scripture to basically justify living how they want to live, you know? People that can't be corrected. They don't come as a child. They're not teachable, you know? Yeah, that's it on that. What we got next? Should we play some more of that video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to come out onto the streets. This is what we witnessed when that happened in Birmingham last night. It started when hundreds of predominantly Muslim men came out, they said, to protect their mosques. after far-right groups were supposedly on their way to the city. But then a rumour that the EDL were inside this pub. Some of the men came to attack it. Denise, who'd been inside, told me how scared she was.
We were inside having a drink, having a laugh with friends, and then before we knew it, everyone was around us.
And did you think they were going to come in and attack you?
They would have done it if we'd allowed it. Very scared.
Look at the terror in her eyes. She's such a victim.
I know,
These
man.
devils are getting what they asked for, man.
It's like it'd be like innocent bystanders as collateral damage, you know, because you got these EDL, the English Defence League, Donnies friggin' going around starting all this trouble, but I don't think they realise that, you know, when it comes to the Arab, like what was it saying in the scriptures?
Ishmael is a wild man.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I mean. I don't think they realise that, you know, you poke that beehive, you stir up a hornet's nest, and you know they gonna come out stinging.
That's it. Esau been bit off more than he can chew, man. Because Jake has been docile, you know what I mean? Like, for the most part. Sometimes Jake will get rowdy or whatever, but for the most part, due to Christianity and that turn the other cheek and white Jesus and all that, they've been docile, man, and dormant. But these Muslims, man, this is why you don't see attacks on the Muslim religion as much, because they ain't gonna stand for that. Like during the Olympics, they had the tranny Last Supper, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like they would never do that to the Muslim religion because they ain't gonna stand for that. Ishmael ain't gonna stand for that. So now they caught the attention of these Muslims. They're going after the Muslims. Esau then bit off more than he can chew, because Esau likes to talk the talk, but he can't walk the walk, man. Esau is a weak man. You know, they ain't got that spirit that they used to have, that football hooligan spirit they used to have, man. They try to, and they're all banding together now trying to bring that back alive, but it's all rooted and based off of racism. This is what brings them together. Get these foreigners out of our country. They will never come together if it ain't for something such as that, man. Because they're all in agreement when it comes to that mindset, because that's who they are. They're the wicked. Anyway, let me play some more of this.
Scary. I have never been in a situation where a puppy's been attacked for no reason.
One man was beaten up. Windows were smashed. When Naveed and his friends who live locally heard what happened, they came to calm tensions and to apologise to everyone in the pub.
I would like to apologise.
Yeah, sounds about to kick in.
I'll be honest, the thugs, this was not in the name of Islam, the old thugs. Islam doesn't teach us this. If you don't know how to behave, stay at home. It's as simple as that.
A night that showed just how quickly misinformation can stoke terrifying violence, but which this time at least ended with a handshake.
It's pathetic, man. You got humans of every nation that just...
You know what's funny about that? Is that this guy that's shaking his hand, he's clearly, like, worried at the fact that he could be, like, seriously injured. Well, I guarantee, given the point, like, or given the opportunity, he'd probably stood over there with them friggin' lot that started this whole ruckus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, get the foreigners out, you know what I mean? But obviously, because he's surrounded by Ishmael, I think in his case, they go crouching. They're like, oh yeah, we're all on the same side. We're all one people. We all bleed the same. I love everybody. But then as soon as he's in the clear around all them EDO lot, I guarantee he's like waving the friggin' England flag and you know, cussing out the foreigners and all that other stuff, the migrants.
Yeah, it'd be right back to his true nature again.
Yeah.
You know, because Edomites like to play, they like to act and smile in your face and pretend they're your friend. Yeah. But the scriptures say not to trust him.
Yeah.
Though he go crouching. Let me quickly get that, man.
That's what I mean, man. Like you can't trust this devil, man. Like you really can't.
All right, so this is Sirach 12 and 10,
One
right?
sec, I'll put it up on the screen.
Oh, you're gonna pull it up, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. And this describes the characteristics of Esau Edom, man.
What was it? Ecclesiasticus what? Or Sirach what?
Correct. 12 and 10.
12 and 10. Right.
But yeah, you can't trust these people because they're good actors, man.
Yeah. All right,
You know, they'll
on the screen.
pretend like they like you, but really they don't, man. Every single one of them has different levels of racism in there, but it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Sirach 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy. And the scriptures make it plain as day who our enemy is. In all honesty, Esau is the enemy of every nation, man.
Yeah.
Because he's the nation that ain't gonna bow down. The scriptures talk about how the nation that shall not serve thee shall be utterly wasted, utterly destroyed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Serve the Israelites when we're ruling. And Esau is prophesied to be destroyed, letting you know right there, he ain't going to serve us willingly, man. These other nations will. They will eventually get down with the program. And they're going to abide by the laws, statutes, and commandments in Yahweh Shem Shai. But Esau, he can't do it. He wasn't created that way. He'll never know the way of righteousness, man. So it says here, Sirach 12 and 10, never trust thine enemy. For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Mm-hmm.
You can wipe away rust and make iron look shiny again, right? But eventually it's always going to come back. It's always going to be there, man. It's never going to be, you're never going to fully get rust away forever. And that's the wickedness of these devils. They might calm down with certain levels of fuckery that they're known for doing. They might calm down on that for a bit, but it's dormant. It's still there. It's always going to be there. These people ain't never going to change. It says, and this is the point, man. Verse 11, it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. So he puts on a good act. Yeah, I got a black, what does he say? My best friend's a black man, or you know, I'm related to a black man, my son-in-law or whatever. I don't know. You know how they talk, man.
Yeah, I got one black friend.
Yeah, we've all heard it.
Yeah, what's his name? It's like they think about it. Like, yeah, one black thing, you don't even know his name.
Probably just someone they work with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they've said hello to, and now they think they got a black friend. Forgive me, my eye is itching. Hay fever, man. Anyway, I'm gonna read that again from the top, verse 11. Though he humble himself, right, like they're known to do because they're cowards, and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. So keep your eye on that sleazy, greasy, slithering bastard, man. It says, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rusts have not been altogether wiped away. So you watch them close enough, you're going to see that they are that same old devil, man, and that they will never change, and that something ain't right with them, man. Their spirit ain't right.
That's it.
All right, that's it. We don't need to go any further. Point is made on that. Let me play some more of this video, unless you got something you want to say, or...
No, I don't have any.
All right.
Love ya. Love you, mate. National Sonny reporting. Well, I'm joined now by Nick Emerson, President of the Law Society of England and Wales, some of whose members are now under threat from the far right. Thank you very much for coming to the studio. How many members?
Well, there have been widely circulated posts on social media targeting 39 immigration law firms and agencies for attack and violence.
Specifically?
Yes. It's listing them there from across the country, and it's a specific list. We've heard reports of that going up to 45 or even 60, but the ones we've seen are 39.
Has this happened before?
No, this is unprecedented. We appreciate that our members work.
It's so bad. It's just not fit for human consumption. In that place, like animals live better than that.
Sophie, not her real name, worries every day.
All right, I think that's it on that video, man. You know, this app we're on only lets us play so much when it comes to YouTube videos, but this is the app that plays YouTube videos clearer than if we were to go on the actual website, because it will end up looking all choppy and stuff. We put that through the test as we were trying to set up this this lesson that we're doing now. And we've been trying to set up this lesson for the past couple of days. So it is what it is, man. But you know, we'll bring out some more precepts and wrap it up. But you know, we want to let you know that all this going on in the world is going to intensify, and it is biblical prophecy. All right. So let's bring out the book of 2nd Ezra 15 and chapter 14 through 19.
2nd Ezra chapter 15, 14 through 19.
And 14 through 19.
Yeah, got it. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, you can read it.
Yeah, so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein." It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh."
That's it. So,
Slucky.
So, no, it's all good. So woe me, obviously, we've been saying that it means death and destruction. So that's coming to the world and them that dwell therein. So no matter where you are, you're going to feel the effects of what's going on in the world, unless you're some primitive people living on some remote island somewhere that ain't, you know, a part of the system, man. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh," meaning draws near. You know, the sword and destruction of these people, the masses of this world, is near. So one way or another, destruction is going to be on your doorstep, man, especially when the time of Jacob's trouble comes. So we're talking about a time when everything collapses. You might have no electricity. Well, more than likely, you're not going to have electricity. It says, and there's going to be no food anywhere. You know what I mean? Lord willing, we'll bring out these precepts in a bit so you can understand. But this is what's coming to the earth, man. And this is why we constantly do these videos, to shake you and get you, you know, slap you in the face and wake you up. Get your mind right, man. Understand the times you're living in. It ain't gonna fix itself. This ain't a place to be bringing children in the world, or you people having babies now. What are you playing at, man? You're just making the judgment even worse on yourself, because you're gonna have to watch your children suffer, man. There ain't no future in this place. All right, you can continue reading. Slakia.
Yeah, I'll start from the top. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 15. It says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hand."
And that's what we're seeing happening with these riots, man. Thing is, it's not just the UK that are rioting. You got all kinds of places. Hungary.
You got Ireland. You got flipping India. You got Venezuela. You got everywhere, basically.
Yeah.
America's next, boy.
Yeah. And the final showdown is going to be America, because the thing is, Americans have been dormant, man. They want to, just like the British, they were in the same spirit. They were complaining. They wanted to come together and cause ruckus, but there was nothing bringing them out. But this event, when it comes to their racism and them trying to save our country and all that bollocks, not knowing that their country is finished due to their people's policies, you know what I mean? That was the final straw that broke the camel's back and drew them out. Now the same thing will happen in America, man, because they're in the same spirit where they're on edge, they're ready to explode. But this one event will happen to where you're going to start seeing these patriots out there with their arming up, man, out there with their guns and their militias and stuff, man. You know? So this is what it's talking about when it says, "And one people shall stand up to fight against another with swords in their hands." The modern day sword is the gun. So this is what's getting ready to happen when the Edomites in America rise up and say enough is enough, basically. And that's going to happen. That, that will definitely happen if Kamala Harris enters office. That's all it takes for Americans, man. When it comes to that, when it comes to the election, that's the one thing that, you know, fuels them. Also, the immigrant crisis over there.
Yeah, because I was going to say, either way, whoever gets elected is going to start, you know, the shit off, man. You know, excuse my language, but that, you know, if Trump gets in the office, all the racists are going to be empowered. Let's take our country back, you know, and they're going to use law enforcement as well to you know, to come in like a flood. Then if Kamala Harris wins, then all the racists are going to kick off anyway, because now that, you know, they already had a black man for 8 years, or so-called black man for 8 years. Now they're going to have a so-called black woman. You know, even though she ain't got too dumb to realize black in her, you know what I mean? Like, or so-called black in her, but, you know.
Yeah, they're too dumb to realize that she's not even a so-called black woman, man. All they see is a little bit. They'll see a little bit of color in your skin and just assume. Even our people do it, man. They just assume that Kamala Harris is a so-called black woman. She ain't even a black woman, man.
That flipping laugh of hers drives me insane, man. Whenever you hear it, it's like cackling. It's like, oh God, shut up, man. I have to put it on mute. The laugh does my head in, man.
Yeah.
Right, you want me to keep reading the next verse?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 16 says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes.
Right, let me stop you right there. So sedition, when you go into the word sedition, let me just I've got it I've got it right here. Can it see my screen? Can you see my screen?
No, because you're not sharing it. But I've got it on mine.
All right, yeah, just pull up that word sedition.
Yeah, it's up. Sedition, conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch.
That's it. So basically, you're going to see an uprising of people coming against the government, basically. Government corruption, government policies as far as the immigrant crisis and all that, which is happening in America and the UK and other parts of the world. But, you know, there's going to be all over the world, basically, there's going to be sedition among men, you know, where people are fed up with the government and they start to actually rise up and take action, man. So read that from the top again, verse 16.
Yeah, so verse 16, it says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power.
See? So they're going to be invading one another, man, kicking down your door and violating you in your own home, man. Tying you up in mobs. It's going to get crazy out here. Yeah, and it's so much so that it's biblical, huh?
Yeah, we're already seeing a precursor of that as well with all these UK riots. Now imagine if the police weren't available, you know, how crazy it would have, you know, it potentially could have gotten. Now these people were smashing windows, they were kicking in doors, they were doing all kinds of, you know, like wickedness, setting cars on fire, all of that. You know, and these are people that are vulnerable. So the people that were, you know, that are in a position to defend themselves, obviously, you know, there might be a little bit of a beef, but, you know, they generally stayed away from those houses. But the elderly, you know, the ones that can't really defend themselves, are vulnerable. They're the ones that that were being targeted, basically. Now you can imagine, like, if there's no authority or no law in the land, like, you know, boy, you know, who knows what could have happened, man? You know what I mean? But again, this is going out everywhere. So if you imagine, like in Venezuela, you know, that you can even like go on YouTube and pull up like documentaries or series about what the women went through during those times when the economy collapsed in Venezuela. Like, yeah, they were being taken, Like a lot of these women were being taken. Like if you get what I mean, you know what I mean. So this is a precursor of events to come, and it's only going to get worse, right?
Yeah.
So when again, just touching on the scripture, it says that for there shall be sedition among men. This is what we're seeing in the news. Like we played the news report, and again, you're seeing sedition among men and invading one another, right? It says, thou shalt not regard their kings nor princes. Now, you had videos of these protesters beating up police.
Yep. Yeah, they were attacking them.
Control over those people.
Yeah, the police were fleeing at times, man, because they couldn't handle it. Because people came together in mobs under one accord, and the course of their actions stood in their power. And that was a microcosm, because during the time of Jacob's trouble, the police are going to be in the same boat where they're going to be catching hell too. So more than likely, the police ain't going to be doing their job as they do now. It ain't going to be a functioning society to where people that get invaded can run to the police. It's every man for himself. It is the strongest shall survive in basically that time. Ultimately, everyone going to receive their judgment in the end, but it's going to be every man for himself during that time of Jacob's trouble.
And what you'll see as well is, because you can probably go online as well, and like for other protests in other countries where the police have taken a knee and they've joined the protesters. I think that happened in where did was it Venezuela with President Maduro or something like that? Protesters were just so out of control that the police basically was like, look, we're joining you. So they basically took their uniforms off and joined the protesters. It was every man for himself. The police, who's to say that the police won't do the same? Like, this is too much. You won't pay me enough for this. I'm joining them. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah. Continue reading from 17.
Yeah, so verse 17 says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able.
And that's martial law. So when all hell breaks off in society, when the system really collapses and these police can't control the situation, they're going to bring in the army, man, basically. It's going to be martial law. They're going to bring in UN troops, the army, whatever. They're going to bring in people higher than the police, and they're going to basically start rounding people up and quarantining people off in cities and stuff like that, implementing curfews, because it says that a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Your movement is gonna be restricted to whether or not they have 15-minute cities set up, because that's where they're headed. That's what they're trying to do. Whether they do that or not, we don't know, but that could be part of it. But either way, this prophecy is going to play out where people are not going to be able to move around freely because these things are orchestrated to where they can take away your rights. They orchestrate these events so that they can have a reason to take more rights from you and implement more draconian laws and stuff, man. But people just ain't clued up enough to see what they're playing at, All right, you can continue reading.
Yeah. It says, for because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
That's it. And it's because of the pride of the people in this world, man. The Lord hates the proud. And the Lord is far away from the proud. So when the Lord brings his judgment, anyone that's caught up in the pride of this life, which is most people, they're getting ready to be what does it say? Because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, right? Just like you've seen in these clips and stuff of the UK riots. That's an example of cities being troubled, stores smashed up, burned down, looted. It says the houses shall be destroyed, right? Just as you saw, they were going up the streets. Well, actually, I don't think we played it in this clip, but there's clips out there showing them going through streets, burning cars and breaking windows and stuff, man. Houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. This is the times we're living in. This is what's coming to the earth. It ain't the time we're not bringing you news that you want to hear. We're bringing you news that you need to hear, whether you like it or not. This is coming. So you could either take heed to it and prepare yourself, and we'll teach you in the end of this lesson how to get prepared for what's coming, Lord willing, because there's a few precepts that you're going to need to hear. You're going to need to stick around and hear in order to how to escape this, what's coming. Yeah, go ahead. You can continue.
Okay, in verse 19 it says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation."
The lack of bread and great tribulation is coming, man. Right now, you haven't seen lack of bread yet. You know, you've seen inflation, like the cost of bread skyrocketing, but you haven't seen a lack of bread to where there's no food anywhere. Wait till everybody's hungry and you watch how you think people acted like hooligans during these little poxy little riots, that you ain't seen nothing yet, man. Even people that didn't get involved are getting ready to come out into the streets when there's no food anywhere. And there's going to be a bloodbath, man. You're going to see people killing each other left, right, and center, man. It ain't going to be just a few people getting beat up here and there. We're talking about pure death, man. People are going to be killing each other in the streets. Women are going to be ravished. All of that, man. People are going to be eaten. You know?
Yeah, cannibalism coming back in a big way.
Yeah. So, like I said earlier, it's going to be every man for himself. But this is going to be due to lack of bread and great tribulation. You know, Jacob's trouble is going to be a time of great tribulation. And if you think that ain't going to touch your doorstep because you live out in the country or something, hey, you're mistaken, because those places are going to be targeted, man. These Edomites out in the country living all peacefully and stuff, man. In America, and they got guns too. All them Edomites got guns, so it's going to be a bloodbath, man. Where was we at? So that was
2nd Ezra 15 and 19.
Yeah. All right, bring out Isaiah 19 and 2. Because this is what you're seeing happening before your eyes right now, all right? Letting you know even more that the Bible reigns supreme, man. It's undefeated for all you atheists out there, man.
He said Isaiah 19 and 2.
Yeah.
It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom."
Yeah, man. And that's exactly what you're seeing happening right now. This isn't, I mean, this is a future prophecy, but this is also a present prophecy, man. This is the time that this prophecy is speaking about, because the modern day Egyptians are basically the people of this generation, but mainly in America. You know, this is where the final showdown and the greatest event is going to happen. But Egypt can also, you can also relate that to the UK too, because, you know, the kingdom of the Edomites, the British and the Americans are basically the same, man. And when you go into the meaning of Egypt, it means bondage, right? So this is the place of our captivity also, England, man. You know what I mean? It's also the place of the captivity of the Israelites. So these Egyptians are basically the British and the American, but mainly American. But as you're seeing, the Egyptians are fighting the Egyptians. These devils are fighting against each other, man. You know, and it's a beautiful thing to see, you know, because the scriptures talk about how, you know, if Satan cast out Satan, let's bring that up next, actually. I believe that's actually, bring out 2nd Ezra 13 and 31 first. Yeah, because that goes hand in hand with that precept too.
Yeah, so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 verse 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
So there's going to be all-out division in these end times and fighting each other, man. You know, which is the results of the rulership of Esau Edom, man. Because the scriptures say that this man is a red horse and that his job was to take peace from the earth. And this is what he's done since he's been in rulership. Each generation gets worse and worse. It never gets better, you know, because this man ain't fit for rulership. He stole his way to his position. So by nature, he doesn't belong in the position of rulership of the world. He only did it because he's a damn bully and a thug and a grimy ass bastard that basically thieved his way to the top, man. And now you're seeing everyone fighting and divided and fighting against each other, you know, because it says one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another. You know, you have territorial beefs, and that's even going to increase tenfold during Jacob's trouble, because people are going to band together in mobs and stuff, man. You know what I mean? It's going to be one place against another. It says one people against another, meaning one race. It's going to be race war. It says in one realm against another. That's good versus evil, man. So you're going to have people that are going to stand for righteousness against the people that are fighting. And that's us, man. Us in this truth. We're fighting against, but our weapons are not carnal, you know. Weapons of our warfare are spiritual, which is the Holy Bible. That's our weapon, because the Bible is a very spiritual weapon. You know, they drop hints in movies like the Book of Eli, where that man was talking about, it's just a book. And he's like, it's not a book. It's a fucking weapon, he said, remember? And that, you know, if you haven't seen that movie, Book of Eli, I hate to, you know, drop spoilers or whatever, but you need to check it out. That movie is spiritual as hell. And it's only going to make sense to those that understand the truth. All right. Let's bring out Matthew 24 and verse 6 through 8.
I feel like I have to sneeze, but it's not coming up.
Huh?
I feel like I have to sneeze, but it's not coming.
I felt like that earlier, man. My hay fever's been acting up.
It's like you want to sneeze, but it's like, nope. All right, here it comes. Nope.
Yeah.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 6. It's in red letters, so we should have a shy that's speaking here. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
And this was talking to the elect, or the hopeful elect. Us that are paying attention, us that are on our watch, you know, us that are taking heed to the ways of the Lord, man. You know, it says, for nations, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. That's what's going on. This is one of the signs that we're at the end. Right, because this war ain't gonna die down till it goes nuclear. This is the final war. So this is the war. This is the wars it's talking about. You ain't got 100 years to go before the end. All you people out there that don't know what's going on. This is it. This is the end of. This is the most important time in the history of mankind that you're living in now, man. And you just so happen to be born in this final generation. Lucky you, eh? It says, see that ye be not troubled. This is why I say it's speaking to the ones that this is meant for, which are the ones that taking heed to the truth, you know, because we're seeing all this stuff going on, but these plagues are not for us, it's for them. So we're not supposed to be troubled, because all this stuff that's going on in the world right now, this ain't for us. We just continue to prophesy and do as commanded, and the Lord is going to lift up a standard when the enemy comes in like a flood upon us. Divine intervention. The Lord is going to defend his people, man. We're on a mission in these end times to do the will of the Lord, and he's going to protect us. So he says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. We still have a few things to go through. We still have the mark of the beast to be implemented. We still got race wars in America that's supposed to happen. Jacob's trouble, you know. So all these things must play out before them nukes start flying, which is what the Bible calls the end of this world. Okay, the end of this rulership. All right, you can continue.
Yeah, I just wanted to say as well, like, you know,
Yeah.
and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Like, are we not seeing, like, rumors that America's about to be involved in a conflict with Iran? Are we not hearing rumors that China is about to invade Taiwan? You know,
Exactly.
I mean, it's loud and clear. You know, if you haven't, you know, sort of cottoned on at the moment, everything that we're saying about, like, global events, like events that are taking place in the world, we're reading it in the scriptures, and it's quite literally painting the picture perfectly.
Yeah.
And this is what, you know, a watchman does, is they give you the warning before the events come forward. And that's the beauty of our Lord Yahweh. You know, he always set up his men to bring out his word, to give the warning to the people to repent before, you know, he takes action. But the pride of Esau Edom, he ain't gonna hear it, so he's gonna continue in his wickedness. So now the Lord has to come in and deal that judgment. But before he deals that judgment, he's given all the Israelites out there, you know, but mainly the elect, you know, an opportunity to repent. The 2/3 ain't gonna repent, but then, you know, you have that remnant, that small remnant, that will repent and come back to keeping the laws. And this is what we're bringing out in these scriptures, right? So I'm going to jump to verse 7. So this is Matthew 24:7, and it reads, "For a nation shall," and that's the key word, "for a nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." Right?
Excellence. That's these various diseases that are floating about in these end times. The vid and, well, you know, monkeypox. What happened to that?
Yeah,
and swine flu.
Oh, the little monkey that escaped out of that van.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to that? It was like, you know, everybody was panicking because it was like the start of that film. What is it? Containment or Quarantine or whatever that film was called.
Yeah.
With a little monkey escaped from a van that crashed. And they're like, oh, it's out there somewhere. That story died down quick, man.
Yeah, maybe that didn't go quite as planned. Yeah. So they had to abort that mission, move on to plan B.
It's like how quick people forget. Like, yo, there's a rabid monkey with a dangerous biological disease on the loose out there, just infecting people.
and they're plastering all over the media these black people with these bumps all over their hands.
Yeah, you remember?
trying to make out like we're the ones spreading disease, man. All these diseases came from Edomites, and a lot of them came from them sleeping with animals, man.
Yeah.
When you go back and do your research, that's where a lot of these diseases came from. These damn devils, man. So you finished reading verse 8, yeah?
No, I just read verse 7. Let me read verse 8. Verse 8 just says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. So this is just the beginning.
Yeah. That's it, you know. Yeah, because the end is not yet. There's still a few events that have to play out, like I said earlier, you know. All right, let's go ahead and jump to 2nd Ezra 16 and read verse 68, and then we're going to read through 76.
Second Ezra 16 and 76.
Start at 68,
oh, yes,
and then read through 76.
So 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 68 says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you, and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols.
Yeah, man. So there's going to be an insurrection upon us men that fear the Lord. It's like, yeah. And, you know, the burning wrath of a great multitude is going to be kindled over us, just like you saw how everyone, all the Edomites were coming for the Muslims because of one little event, you know. And the thing is, man, like, yeah, it's tragic, like seeing a young man with mental issues, obviously, going and stabbing up people. But what happened was a crazy person went and stabbed a bunch of children. But the way Edomites see it is, you know, it was a man of color. So therefore, they wanted to unleash that anger that hatred that they have in them naturally, and unleash that fury and let it all out. You know what I mean? In society, it's changed, man, because, you know, when you're in the workplace or just out and about in the shops, you can see the way people are looking at each other now, man. You know, I mean, I always was getting stares being that I'm in brown skin, but it's even more now being because of all the events happening, man. You can feel the tension in the air, you know. And one thing I want to say is all these riots that have happened, these Americans are watching, and now they're starting to develop the courage to go out there and do the same, man. So you could probably expect the same thing to happen in America soon, man. But it says they shall take away certain of you. That means that they're going to cast some of us into prison. Because all around the world, America and England, I know for sure, maybe in other countries, I'm not too sure, but they're building mega prisons because they know what's coming and they're preparing themselves like they always do. They always, because for one, the elites understand the prophecies, and for two, they are orchestrating all these things, which is going to end up fulfilling biblical prophecy. They want civil unrest so that they can cast a lot of people into prison and stuff, because it'll make society even more manageable if, you know, the people that they could deem as troublemakers that aren't with the government, if they're behind bars, then they ain't gonna worry about them anymore. So they want the chaos, man. But it says they're gonna take away certain of us and feed us being idle with things offered unto idols, which is that MOTB, man. They're gonna cause some of you to get that C hip. All right, you can read on.
Yeah, so it says 2nd Ezra 16 and 69. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot.
That's it, man. So the same thing happened with the jump shot, should I say, to be safe. The V word, you know what I mean? Them that consented unto them and stuck out their arms said, juice me up. They're regretting it now, man. They're being ridiculed for being such idiots. You know, you shouldn't listen to us so-called conspiracy theorists. Now they're all panicking and their health is fading. So that's one way that this prophecy came to pass. But another way is the MOTB. So when they feed us with things being offered unto idols, them that consent unto them are going to be eventually trodden underfoot, man. You're going to be like people. It's going to be the same thing as the jump shot, man. We're going to be like, we told you not to get it. Now look, it's going to be the same scenario. You know, that jump shot was like a test run. And a lot of people failed that because they had no faith. Oh, I'll lose my job, or I can't go on a plane and visit my family in another country. Who the hell cares, man? Talking about life and death here, man. You can't trust these devils and their nanotechnology. You don't know what the hell they're putting in your veins, man. All right, you can read on.
Yeah, so verse 70 says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
And that's us, man. And that's what I was saying earlier. There's going to be a violent uprising. That's what an insurrection means. It means a violent uprising against them that fear the Lord. Just like you saw them rising up against them Muslims over one event, the straw that broke the camel's back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got a precept on that.
Yeah, can't.
Yeah, so this is in the book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 10. And it reads, and it's in red letters, so again, it's Yahushai. It says, "Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life."
That's it.
You know, so Yahushai, you know, even said out of his own mouth, look, these people are going to cast you into prison, you know, and they'll do it for, you know, just because we're believers, man, you know, because, you know, we follow Yahushai wherever so he may go, you know what I mean? Like, we stick to this truth, and we're going to be persecuted, as the scriptures say, you know. Men of the Lord are going to be delivered up, right? But it says, "Fear none of those things that thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried." And again, this is that fine gold. The Lord is sifting out that fine gold, because he wants the pure gold. You know what I mean? He don't want people that just bottle it at the first sign of trouble and decide, nah, this is not for me. Yeah, okay, give me the C-hip, you know. You know, you gotta be tried. You're gonna be thrown in prison. You're gonna be, you know, presented with all kinds of things.
Your courage is gonna be tested.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. It says, "And you shall have tribulation 10 days." So a period of time you're gonna go through it. You know, you're gonna experience some things. But what does the Lord say? He says, "Be thou faithful unto death." So even if they threaten you by the chopping block, hey, you ain't swaying me. You know, nothing you can do, nothing you can say will convince me to join your team. There's no chance of it. You know, and, you know, I'll take that to the grave, literally. You know, it says, "Be thou." Wait a minute.
Let me speak a bit.
Huh?
Wait a minute. Let me speak a bit. So basically, it's talking about how the devil is going to cast you into prison, and the devil is basically the people that are going to cast us into prison. It's not talking about a red man in a spandex suit under the ground, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So this also lets you know that these people are your enemy, man. Their policing service, their government. This is the devil that the Bible was talking about. This nation of people that's in rulership, man. They're the ones that are going to cast us into prison, okay? And it also speaks about how we'll be tried 10 days. 10 days, 10 just means a set period of time. It doesn't mean that it's going to be exactly 10 days. It just talks about a period of times that we're going to be tested. Yeah, I just had to add that.
Yeah, okay. And again, I'll just finish it up. It says, "Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." Meaning, you know, hey, there's a great reward at the end of this. So if you don't fold, you don't falter, you know, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. You know what I mean? Like, Yahushua is very clear on what he's telling us and directing us is going to happen. He's explaining what we need to do. We need to have that endurance, you know?
Yeah,
so,
we can't be cowards.
That's all I wanted to touch on that point.
Yeah, we can't be cowards, because it says, "Be thou faithful unto death," and that means that some of us are going to have to die for this truth, man.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us are prophesied to have our head on a chopping block, man. You know, we'll die by decapitation, which is a very quick death. You probably won't even feel nothing. So, you know, that's why the scriptures say, "Fear none of those things we're going to suffer." It is what it is. It's the will of the Lord, man. And whatever will be, will be. What's for our path is written for our path. You know, it ain't going to be easy. We're going to be probably scared when it actually happens. But you got to be courageous, man. You got to show how much during that time that you really love the Lord, that you really fear the Lord, and you really believe in the Lord, man. Was that everything?
Yeah, that was everything on the precept. But I'm back in 2nd Ezra 16 and 70.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to keep reading?
Start from 70 again.
Okay, so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 70. It says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord."
So that violent uprising is coming, and it says in every place. Okay, so it's going to be wherever you are living in the world right now. Continue.
Okay, verse 71 says, "They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord."
So you got to be in a mindset to let it all go when that time comes. You got to believe in what's written, and you got to brace yourself for impact, man, because this is going to come to pass. Okay.
Right, so verse 72, it says, "For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses."
That's it. So it don't matter if you've done your house up or you paid off your mortgage. You better count all things as done and be ready to let that go, man, because nothing matters. In all honesty, the crumbs we're given in this world is nothing compared to us what we're going to receive if we endure to the end. So just let it go, man. Who wants riches and wealth and anything in a world like this run by these demons, man?
Yeah, especially in a society that's about to collapse. You know, you've seen the stock market had like thousands of points drop. You know what I mean? Like, the economy is getting ready to go, man. It is on the verge of tumbling.
That's it, man. This place is through. Nothing to hold on to.
Verse 73 says, "Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire."
Yep. So during that time of ultimate testing, you're going to know who the Lord is dealing with, because they're going to be kept all right during that time. The Lord is going to do miracles. Divine intervention is going to happen for his elect during that time. So you're going to know who are the chosen, because many people are called, few are chosen, the scriptures talk about. So when it says that then you'll know who are the chosen, it means that all the rest of them were called, but they weren't chosen. You're going to know it was Great Millstone during that time, man. And the affiliates.
Yeah. Verse 74 says, "Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same."
That's it. And it's talking about the beloved, those that are pleasing the Lord. It ain't just talking about anyone that comes from the seed line of Jacob, man. So they're going to be, it says the days of trouble, which is Jacob's trouble, is at hand, but the Lord will basically do miracles for them that are known as the beloved. All right. So that's the position you want to be in these end times. That's the only way to be protected from what's coming, man. Kamala Harris ain't going to protect you. Donald Trump is not going to protect you. They're the problem. They're not the solution, man. All right. Read on.
Verse 75 says, "Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide."
Continue.
It says, "And the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts,
See?
saith the Lord."
So the Lord is the guide to them who
Jehovah.
keep the commandments and precepts, which you Christians don't do, man. You're steady talking about the law is done away with. The Hebrew Israelites have been telling you the laws ain't done away with. You got to keep the law. Obviously, you can't keep it perfect in your captivity, but you got to acknowledge the law and try to keep it to the best of your ability. You know, those are the ones that the Lord is pleased with. So the Lord said he's going to be a guide. What does he say? "Be not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide." Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It says, "And a guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts." So if you're not keeping the commandments and precepts because the Christian church is leading you astray, telling you the law is done away with, then you're not going to be protected in the time that you're going to need protection, man.
All right. So yeah, I'm going to read from the top. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 76, and it says, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord power, let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so you don't want to, you know, everybody goes off, you know, because we're all in the flesh. So from time to time, yeah, we'll go off, but don't let them sins weigh you down. Just, you know, if you find out or realize that you've sinned or you've committed a sin, repent and get back on job. Get back on keeping the commandments and doing the work. You know, don't let your sins weigh you down. And let not your iniquities lift themselves up. So don't dwell on something, you know, a mistake you've made. Brush yourself off and get back on the horse and keep going.
That's it. You know, the key is just not to look back. You know, we're in the flesh. We're going to have times where, you know, this walk can be a bit much and we might mess up here and there or whatever. But never just give up and look back and go back into the world or whatever, man. Don't let your sins weigh you down to the point where you feel like you're not worthy. I mean, none of us are really worthy, but, you know, don't get to the point where you feel like you're not worthy to walk this walk and, you know, you just, there's no hope for you. You start having that woe is me spirit, you know?
Mm-hmm. Verse 77 says, woe be unto them that are bound with their sins, and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through.
Yeah, in other words, you know, people that are stuck in the world, man, like, woe unto them. Like, if you just, there's no escaping whatever you're involved in. You know, you've sold your soul in the music, in the music industry, and now they ain't letting you go. You want to be a man of the Lord, but you didn't sign the contract. You know what I mean? That's an example of being bound by your sins. There's other ways you can be bound by your sins too, man.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, woe unto them that are bound by their sins, man. You wanna turn your back on the world. You know, just like that series, Leave the World Behind. You know, that was. The Obama made that because he understands certain things when it comes to prophecy. He understands that there's coming a time where, you know, the men of the Lord are gonna have to leave the world behind, man, turn their back on the world and follow your house shy. But you people that can't do that because you're stuck in your sins, hey, woe unto you. You're marked for destruction, man, and that's a place you don't want to be. You know.
Yeah. Verse 78.
Nah, that's it.
Say that again.
That's it. You don't really need to read anymore. We'll skip to the next bit. Let's read Baruch 4 and 25.
Yeah, so this is Baruch chapter 4 verse 25, and it says, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from the Most High, for thine enemy hath persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck.
And right now we're witnessing his destruction. You know, I was on the edge of my seat when I saw these riots happening. I was like, yes, you know, we got to sit back and just watch them destroy each other, man. The Lord is basically destroying them. He set up this whole scenario for them to destroy each other. So this ain't, you know, this is a good time for us, man. You know, this basically shows that we're getting closer and closer to our deliverance from this place, man.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, my children suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because we're under the curses. This is the wrath that the Lord has delivered us to by putting these people over us and having us grow up in their land, you know, under their rulership, and having to work their 9 to 5s and build up their kingdom and make their people richer. And while we're struck in poverty, living in ghettos and in poor communities with where drugs and violence is rampant, man. You know, this is the patience that we have to suffer through, man. You know what I mean? Being at the bottom of society, looked down upon all over world star hip hop. People pointing the finger at us like we're the problem because you see a couple people looting shops or whatever. You know? So we gotta suffer patiently. It says, for thy enemy have persecuted us, the Edomites, the so-called white man, mainly, as well as these other heathen nations. They persecuted us, man. And then they steady cry that we're just playing the victim and stuff because they have no sympathy. It just shows their hatred for us, man. So it says, shortly thou shalt see us destruction, which we're seeing, and we're going to tread upon their neck. We're going to be on top in the end, man. You know, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning that followeth. 2 Ezra 6 and 9. We're getting ready to tread upon their neck. They've got us. They're treading upon our neck right now. Look, for instance, like when we tried to build Black Wall Street in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and they bombed it. You know, anyone that's ever risen up to try and deliver our people out of bondage, out of our captivity, they've assassinated or, you know, they've paid off or something, man. You know? So basically they have a foot on our neck. Ultimately, it's the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because we ain't going to get salvation any other way but through Yahushai. You know? Deuteronomy 28:68 says, no man shall buy you, meaning redeem us from these curses. But this is what I'm getting at, is this is an example of them having their foot on our neck right now. We're powerless. You know, they won't allow us to own nothing but a small business. We can't own banks and stuff like that. It might happen in small occasions here and there, but that's rare, man. And it's not because our people are lazy, it's because they systematically keep us down to where we can't. They have redlining and all sorts of things. But eventually we're going to have our foot on their neck, okay? We're going to get the upper hand in the end, and it's inevitable because we're a stronger nation, and they're getting weaker by the day. You see all this stuff going on in the world, they can't handle it. They've got too much on their plate. These Edomites this is a failing civilization, man. It's dying. Right, you got anything you want to speak on?
Jeremiah 30:7 probably.
All right then.
Yeah, so so this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30:7, right? And again, these are the times that we're coming into, right? So Jeremiah 30:7 reads, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? The time we're coming into is Jacob's trouble. And this is, you know, what we're seeing now. We're starting to see the insurrection of the people, you know, the people going back to their, you know, joining on to their own people, you know, swords in their hands, all of that chaos that's about to unfold, right? The men of the Lord being persecuted, being delivered up, you know, to the courts and the judges, you know, like all that stuff is about to come upon mainly the Israelites, you know, and that's what it means when it's talking about you know, that day is great, so that none is like it. It's going to be one of the worst times in recorded history that our people are going to go through. So, you know, you think about slavery, you know, there's going to be a time worse than that, you know. Like my brother was just bringing out, you know, Black Wall Street being bombed, you know, time worse than that, you know, you name it, you know, it's going to be a time like no other. And these are the times that we're coming into, and we can see it happening, right?
Yeah.
So
it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, so it's very relative and important that we let you know, those of you that are paying attention, that are watching, that are, you know, seeking after the Lord while he may be found, you know, we're letting you know, like, look, hey, brace for impact. This thing is about to, you know, happen at any point, you know. Yeah. Prophecies are jumping off the paper like, you know, one prophecy after the other. It's coming so quick now, it's hard to keep up with them all. By the time you sort of get a lesson together and you start talking about one prophecy, another one is popping off as you're bringing out the friggin' lesson.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with.
Yeah.
That's why, we've come up with this way of doing our lessons in the evenings when we're at home. Like I just got off work and come in, set up straight away, doing lesson, because this is something that's going to work, man. We're going to be able to be a bit more diligent this way, so this is good.
Yeah, but I think even if like prophecy does kick off, we can just literally tap on the YouTube and pull it up and display it on the video.
Exactly, and speak on it, So this is a good step forward for us, I like the way this is headed. But I just want to bring out a quick precept because basically all this stuff you're seeing, although it's gonna make life a bit harder for us that that are part of this, we're living in this world too, us men of the Lord, but the scriptures say fear none of those things, but these plagues are for them, not us. And it's a joyful thing. You got to be in the right spirit when you're seeing all this. You can't be in the spirit of wanting things to get better. You got to get excited when it gets worse, because that means it's more over for them and it's closer to our rulership. It's going to be a rough transition, don't get me wrong. No one wants to be out of their comfort zone, but you're in the wrong spirit if you are trying to be comfortable in these end times and you're trying to, you want a peaceful transition, man. That ain't what's written and that ain't what's going to happen. But this is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, in the Apocrypha, chapter 25 and verse 7. It says, do you want me to wait for you to pull it up? Or?
Yeah.
All right.
Sirach 25 verse 7.
Yeah, it says, there be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and a 10th I will utter with my tongue. It says, so these are the things that are known to be happy, right? It says, a man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. So a man playing with his children and enjoying his children and not little shits, and he's actually having pleasure in his children. They're obedient, they're intelligent, they're submissive, they're respectful, and they're playful, they're happy. That's a joyful thing, man. When everything's going smooth in your parenthood with your child, man, that is such a joyful thing, unexpressible. But just as joyful as it is to play with your children and all that, it says, a man that have joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And that's what we're seeing, man. These Edomites tearing each other up. They're all divided in every way. They're complaining about immigrants in their country. Good, let them get a taste of their own medicine, man, because they're immigrants everywhere they are. They stole America. Yeah, they want to act like it's their country, complaining about foreigners coming in their country. Most of the people coming in their country are the original people of that country, the original Americans. So it's just funny seeing everything, that their comfort zone being destroyed. It's beautiful to see, man. Every time we see things like that, we're all praising the Lord. Beautiful. Beautiful this witness, man. The Lord is sticking the knife in slow and twisting it while he looks Esau in the eyes, dead in the eyes, man.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Stick the knife and pull up and twist at the same time.
Yeah, while you're staring him in the eyes.
Like them old school action movies where the bad guy gets stuck at the end and he's just got that look on his face and he's just juking it in there.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
All right. One or two more precepts then.
Yeah.
Let's pull up Psalms 54 and verse 7.
Yeah, all right.
I'm thinking I'll start a bit further up. Start at verse 4. Actually, we'll start at verse 2, might as well.
Might as well read the whole psalm.
Yeah, might as well read the whole thing, man. It says, "Hear my prayer, O Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul." Right? And that's what we're seeing happening in these end times. You got these devils trying to fulfill their NWO agenda by hipping us up, man. You know, seeking after our soul, man. They're plotting against us, right? It says they have not set the Most High before them, right? Because the Lord is not in all their thoughts. They're ungodly people. That's why one of the names for Esau, Edom, is the ungodly. It says in verse 4, "Behold, the Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is mine helper." Right? So we ain't trusting in Trump or Kamala Harris. You know, we're trusting in Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. He's our helper. It says, "The Lord is with them that uphold my soul." It says, "He shall reward evil unto mine enemies. Cut them off in thy truth." Right? So the Lord is going to reward evil to the people that have oppressed us and done us wrong. And this is what's happening right now in these end times. We're seeing that happen. So you got to be excited. You got to be happy when you're seeing this happen. It says, "I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Yahweh, for it is good." See? And the scriptures constantly emphasize on the importance of his name. The name is very important. If you're not seeing it as important, then you're taking the Lord's name in vain. That's what it means to take the Lord's name in vain. By treating it as unimportant. You can just call him whatever you want. He knows my heart. No, man. Your heart is wicked and the heart is deceptive. Verse 7, it says, "For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye have seen his desire upon mine enemies." And that's what we're witnessing right now. You know, us that call on the Lord, he's going to deliver us out of the troubles that are coming. And our eyes are witnessing the fall of our enemy, man. And it's a beautiful thing to behold. We're living in a generation where we ought to be really thankful that we were born in this generation. It's like having front row seats to the main event of something you've been waiting years to see or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're here in the final generation in the flesh, watching the downfall of Esau, Edom. So when we see them rioting and destroying their communities, hey man, clap. Eat popcorn like Michael Jackson and just sit back and watch, man. Because this is a beautiful sight to behold, man. The end of our enemy's society. To hell with this place, man. This place ain't never done nothing for us. So let them destroy each other, and so that we can rule next. Just as is prophesied to happen, we're seeing it creep up, man. It's going to take these people by surprise when they realize that everything we've been teaching is true. You know, during that time of Jacob's trouble, you're going to know who were the Lord's chosen. You got anything else? Or?
Yeah, I think that's everything.
That's everything?
Yeah.
All right. Well, lesson's gone on long enough. A bit longer than I expected, but it's all through the Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Lord willing, you know, and whoever's made it this far was edified. You know, it's an exciting time. Don't fear the things that are coming. Embrace them. It ain't going to be easy, but the Lord going to see you through it if you're one of his chosen. And that's what you need to keep your eyes on. Keep focused on being one of the elect, man. And everything will work out, all right? So on that note, man, we'll close it out here. Give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. All right. Shalom.
Shalom.